All right, hello and welcome to the channel. If it's your first time here, please do subscribe. We got something pretty cool and special today. We are checking out Fisker Oceans at their Electrify traveling event here in New Jersey. So we're going to be checking out a couple of different trim levels here and some of the options that they've got between the normal Ocean and the Ocean 1 Launch Edition and the Extreme. So looking forward to checking all of that out. So I think Fisker is super interesting. They're a pretty new company. They were started by Henrik Fisker, hence the name, who had done the design for a bunch of really well-known cars and has kind of branched out on his own now. It's actually a second attempt. There is a company that was called Fisker Karma before and ended up getting bought out and kind of spun out. Now Fisker is the latest offering here with all EVs, and the Ocean is the first one that they've got in their lineup here. Company, there are a lot of questions and doubts around about right now. There are rumors about potential exploration of bankruptcy and also big cash infusions coming from Nissan. But we'll see how all of that goes. I think the biggest thing for them is going to be ensuring that they have a really nice, compelling product. So let's go check it out and see how that product stacks up. And if there's reason to be hopeful and optimistic here. A lot of the reviews and stuff have been pretty down on it. But let's see. I think hardware-wise, I've heard really good things, and it's sort of just software. And if you have to pick between the two, I'd rather have good hardware because you can't really change that once it's out. Software at least can come over the air later. So, let's go check that out. We're both going to do a test drive here. So come along with us and let's go drive a Fisker.
That's right.
A couple things I wanted to point out with the trunk. Now, those back seats are a 40-20-40 split. So
Nice.
you can fold those seats flat forward if you needed to create additional space for storage. And then since it's that 40-20-40 split, you can, if needed, just fold the middle seat flat forward. So if you wanted a pass-through for skis, things like that, you do have that ability. And then here in the trunk, there's also a few hidden compartments for storage. So starting first, if I were to lift this up, we do have a hidden compartment right here, this would be the ideal spot. If you had the charging connector, you can put that down in there. This does not come included with the vehicle. I actually don't know where that came from. That's the first time I've seen that.
Does the charging cable come included?
It does not.
Okay.
I believe it's top of my head. I know you can buy one on the Fisker website. I think it's $2 something for the cable.
Okay.
And you can also, which I'll talk a little bit more about, you can get the wall box charging unit installed, which I think is $5.99 for the unit itself, and then through Fisker they can arrange installation things like that.
Okay.
So
makes sense.
but also if you lift this part up, you do have another hidden compartment of storage. Now the Fisker Ocean won't come with the spare tire. Most EVs won't, mainly due to lack of space with the battery as well as the curb weight, but we do have the tire repair kit and the air compressor up there. And then a few other things regarding the trunk is we got the 120 volt outlet right here. And then
for tailgating.
If you're a big sports fan like me, you got a tailgate, right? And then you also got the classic cigarette car charger right there.
Gotcha.
I have a stupid question. What do you mean an electric vehicle doesn't come with a charging cable?
Well,
So even the Teslas don't anymore. We got in right before they stopped shipping with them.
Sorry, the brain does not compute. That's selling me a cell phone without a charger for it.
Well, yeah, but your cell phone doesn't come with a charger now anymore either.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't.
My cell phone just came with the wire and the plug.
Yeah.
Literally
100% sure it didn't happen. Okay.
Positive. How else would I have had the plug?
Okay.
what? Just out of curiosity, what cell phone is it?
It's an Apple.
Okay.
Yeah.
It had the wire.
Okay.
But you
Oh, it did have the
use
wire, but it doesn't have the pluggy part though. The outlet part. Yeah.
Yeah, but this doesn't have anything.
Yep. Fair enough. Okay, you got me there.
We'll definitely talk a little bit more about the charging side, because the big thing, if you're trying to charge at home, it's more so that wall box charging unit you want. That's the 220, 240 volt plug-in, so that's the big separate. I don't even know what it's called. The block that's attached to your garage or driveway.
Yeah.
Because really, that charging cable That's more for like a 110 usage, like if you need like an emergency charge,
Or
things
a
like that.
240.
240, like the dryer outlet type deal.
Because that's what we use on our vehicles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still brain's not computing how
it's all good.
an electric vehicle goes.
I think the theory is that, I'm not saying I agree with it, but I think the theory is that,
you have enough,
especially as EVs become, like, yeah, like if it's your first one, you'll buy it anyway, or you're going to have, and you want to have the optionality between either, like, depending on what you have at home or apartment or whatever, either using 110 and buying that specifically for that, or the 240 and buying that for that, or having it installed by an electrician with the wall thing. And then once you've done that the first time, right, then you don't need to do it again. Okay. Just saying.
Okay. If you guys want to open the back door on
Yeah.
that side, I'm going to open the back door on this side.
This color is cool.
I like the pink. I like the matte.
Yeah.
Now,
Look at the little table.
Yeah.
That's
now,
cute.
with all our vehicles being the Extreme trim, there's a couple of features that come exclusively with the Extreme trim, starting with the limo mode right here. So if you're in the back seat, through the limo mode, you could, and then of course you got a couple of cup holders right there. Through limo mode, you could control things like heating and AC settings throughout the vehicle. The back seats are heated seats. You can control those through limo mode. You can also control like the volume settings through the sound system through limo mode as well. Another thing that comes exclusively with the Extreme trim are the power reclining seats.
Oh. Interesting.
Yeah, the Ultra and the Sport trims won't have the power reclining seats, but the Extreme trims will have those. And then also in the Extreme trim, we have a couple of USB-C ports as well.
What's in the other ones? Just nothing there?
The other ones, they should have the USB-C.
Oh, okay.
They just won't have like the limo mode or
I
the
see, I see.
power reclining
Gotcha.
it.
Yep.
Check this out. Are you guys ready to hop on in?
Yeah.
And it looks like you guys are both going to be driving the day,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
Who wants to drive first?
You go first. Yeah.
Me.
I do have the power seat adjustments right there. If you
Yep.
need to move the seat backwards, forward, lower the seat, raise the seat, adjust the recline. Second, this vehicle has an NFC reader right here. So I'm going to put the back of this key fob against that NFC reader. And if you go ahead and press down on the brake for me, that's essentially turning the vehicle on.
Okay.
And then before I hop in, if you need to adjust your side mirrors, these buttons are going to do the trick. When you press the L button, then through the arrows, that will control the driver's side mirror. And then the R button through the arrows will control the passenger side mirror. And then I'm going to hop in on the passenger side. And then before we begin the drive portion, I'm going to tell you guys and show you about a few other big features with the Ocean today.
Okay. Awesome.
The screen is massive.
Yeah.
And it turns, I'm sure he'll show you, but it turns.
It turns around. Like a phone.
Yeah.
Like a phone situation. All right.
First, before we begin, are you comfortable back there? Do I need to scoot my seat up more or anything?
No, I've got tons of legroom.
All right.
Yeah. And you're pretty tall too, so that's.
I'm not too tall. I'm only 5'9", so I always say.
Yeah. But I'm like 6'1", and I've got like, I don't even know, maybe 6 inches of knee room here.
All right. Yeah, you get a lot of leg room back there. Feel good right there?
Yep.
All right. First thing I wanted to show, now this is a feature that's going to be standard on every trim on the Fisker Ocean, the digital rear view mirror. Now, this is something you can turn off if you wanted to use a traditional mirror. Once you pull the lever in, it stays on digital the entire time, which that's a great tool to use, like if you've got like people in the back or things in the trunk that are blocking your view, because that way you have an unobstructed view of everything that's behind you. Now, then these right here, the vents, they won't manually open, so you have to essentially open them digital. So if you look closely, when you let go of the...
I see it. Yeah, it's flapping.
We're trying to get that cold air in here. That's
like in the...
It's weird not being used to that. Finally, a sunny day.
I know.
I know, right?
I'm good back here.
That's like weird to me.
Now
Does this move at all or no?
This is a pre-production vehicle.
Okay.
So this one,
Okay, that's okay.
He's trying
That's
to
okay.
move it.
I can see well enough. It's just this is something that would take getting
It
used
takes
to.
a little time getting used to. Yeah, it took me.
Like around here, I don't want to test myself with that.
A lot of manufacturers are starting to use digital rear view mirrors more and more, and it took me about 3 years to get used to it. Next, what I'm going to do, so under settings right here, if I go to general and then adjust steering wheel, now when you're on this screen, every Fisker Ocean will have electronic telescopic and tilt. So through that rolling thing, it'll move the steering wheel up and down electronically. The left arrow will move the steering wheel in, and then the right steering wheel will move out. Now, if you're not on this specific screen, those are going to be audio controls, like if you wanted to adjust the volume, change the radio station. But does that steering wheel feel good right there?
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to hit done. I'm still under settings. I'm going to go to driving. Now, this is going to be my biggest question for you guys.
High is fine.
So you're familiar with the whole regenerative braking? All right, you guys are making it. Now, high won't slow you down to a complete stop.
But it will.
It'll get you to about 4 miles per hour. It's definitely going to be the most aggressive of the 3 settings. You'll definitely feel it within the first few seconds. Do you guys currently own an electric vehicle?
Yeah.
What do you guys have?
We have a Tesla, and we just got a Rivian.
Okay. I had a feeling there was going to be a Tesla. Alrighty. The next thing I wanted to show you guys, now this is a standard feature on the higher end Ultra and Extreme trims. This is honestly one of my favorite features with the Fisker Ocean, the California mode. So if I press and hold this for about 2 seconds, it opens up everything and essentially turns this into a de facto convertible.
Yeah. Isn't that nice?
Yeah.
Yeah, that roof will open all the way to about where that divider is above the back seats.
Wow.
And then even the windows for the trunk and the small
quarter
windows.
Even that opened. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
The back even,
I
like,
love
these
California.
Yeah.
Is it actually called California mode?
It is called California mode.
Do
you want to do the driving California mode?
Yeah, let's do the driving California mode.
Now, to keep up with the California theme, first, before I get to that, the Extreme trim does come with the solar panel for a roof. So through that solar panel, you can get up to 1,500 miles a year of free charging through direct sunlight.
Nice.
And then to keep up with the California theme, the Extreme trim also has Hollywood mode with the rotating screen as a standard feature. So if I press and hold this down for a couple of seconds, it'll rotate the screen horizontally. And then let's say you're charging through your video streaming apps such as Disney Plus, YouTube, to name a few examples. You can then watch movies, TV shows in 16:9 widescreen format. And then since we're in the Extreme trim, this has got the upgraded, hello Karen. This has got the upgraded Fisker Pulse sound system powered by ELS Studio 3D with DJX 3D surround. So it's got a 575 watt 15 speaker sound system with the 19L subwoofer. And of course, since we are in the Extreme trim, I'm going to open this up real quick.
There's a little laptop table.
Oh, yeah.
We have our handy dandy, to keep up with the California theme, our taco trays. So let's say we're charging, we want to kill some time and watch a TV show and we want to eat. We got the trays that we can place our food on, and it's going to look and sound like you're actually in the movie theater without having to pay $40 for 2 movie tickets and a giant tub of popcorn.
How? My brain went to, I can work.
Yeah. You could do that as well, too. You could absolutely do that as well. And then also in here, we got another USB-C and a USB port. Now,
are these
wireless charging pads? They are.
Yeah.
Now, one thing with the screen horizontal, the vehicle will not allow you to take it out of park with the screen that way, so you do have to have the screen
this way
vertical.
for driving.
Exactly, yep. The last big thing I wanted to mention, now, there are 3 trims with the Fisker Ocean. There's the base model Sport, the mid-level Ultra, and the top-of-the-line Extreme trim. If you're in the Sport Edition, that's going to have a single electric motor in the front, which will make it front-wheel drive, whereas if you're in the Ultra and the Extreme trims, they're going to be dual motor all-wheel drive vehicles. Now, if you guys see up here where it says Earth, that indicates which drive mode you are in. This button right here is how to change the drive modes, which we also have Fun and Hyper mode. When we're entering and exiting the property, we have to be in earth mode, but any other time during the drive, if you wanted to change the drive mode, you're definitely more than welcome
What's
to.
the difference between the modes?
So first, think of
Earth, I'm assuming, is conservative, right? It's going to give me the longest battery life.
Earth, Fun, and Hyper operate similar to how like in Eco, Normal, and Sport mode work.
Okay.
Earth is going to be, of course, like you just mentioned, the most conservative in terms of maximizing your range, retaining energy. But while in Earth mode, the vehicle's not going to be putting out as much power as it's capable of. The big thing to know while in Earth mode, even though this is an all-wheel drive vehicle, Earth mode is only using the front powertrain, which is essentially turning it into a front-wheel drive vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas when you're in Fun and Hyper mode, the vehicle is delivering an even 50-50 torque distribution between the front and rear powertrains, which in Fun and Hyper mode will give you more instant and on-demand acceleration. So like in Earth mode, if you press down on the accelerator, there is going to be a little bit of a delay before it takes off, whereas Fun and Hyper mode, it's going to be a little bit more instant. Hyper mode is essentially going to give you max horsepower and torque. The last big crucial thing I need to mention before we begin, this vehicle currently does not have the 2.0 software update.
Mm-hmm.
It is so as a result, this vehicle currently does not have the hill hold brake hold feature.
Gotcha.
It is something that Fisker is currently actively working on. So just be advised throughout the course of the drive, you have to use the brake, because when you let go of the brake, this vehicle is going to roll backwards like a manual transmission. So when you let go of the brake, just be ready to press down on the accelerator. Are you guys ready?
Yeah.
All right. Now
I had a question. The maps, what does it use for the maps? Is it Google Maps or TomTom?
It's through TomTom.
Okay.
Now this vehicle does have Bluetooth compatibility, but it currently does not have compatibility with either Android Auto or Apple CarPlay.
Gotcha.
Does it do routing with charging?
It does. So like, let's say as an example, like we're going on a road trip.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say Cleveland is an example. TomTom is going to know that Cleveland is out of the vehicle's range, so it can actually plan out places for you to charge at.
Yeah.
It'll let you know like what battery percentage you're expected to be arriving at. It'll give you an estimate on how long to charge for. It'll take just a few seconds. So if you go to routes, actually, so go to routes right there. And then, yeah, it'll let you...
The Walmart in Dubois.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we've been there.
Yeah.
We've charged there.
I'm surprised it's actually not that far. I thought it was going to be a little further to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Let's go to Park City. Where do we want to go? Let's go to Texas. A little slow.
A little bit.
It's a long route, though. 2/3 across the country.
There are no charging stations along the way.
Yeah. 8 charges.
8 charge. Whew. Interesting. But you're not going very far between charges.
Yeah, this definitely looks like it's a little bit of a conservative route in terms of charging.
Who knows what these charging stations are like? The sheets. Move into the sheet. Yeah, like you're stopping 19 minutes, 12 minutes, 23 minutes, 21, 43 minutes is the longest charge here.
If you do the setting thing, like, can you change preference of how long?
No.
I don't believe
on...
Does it come with like an... Oh, look, you can change like what your battery level is.
Yeah, so like if you set that lower, it might be less stops.
I didn't realize it had that. See, typically, what we've been doing, so we're on a 9-week tour.
Mm-hmm.
So we haven't had to drive a far distance yet. Here in a couple weeks, we're gonna have to
still 8 charges.
We're gonna have to do a 3-day drive from Boston to Chicago. But on our short drives, like Monday,
it's a desert, right? between Chicago and.
It wasn't like a
There wasn't, but there wasn't like a lot
there
of
wasn't
hard,
a lot of options, but yeah.
fast charging.
But what was that stretch between like Western
Western Pennsylvania,
Western Pennsylvania, and then like Eastern
Indiana.
Pennsylvania? There was hardly anything.
But like on our end, what we've been doing is we've just been trying to find the Electrify America.
Yeah.
It's like they're always going to be 150 kilowatts, assuming they actually work, of course.
Yeah.
But,
so does this have like a app charge, like route planner that you can like?
there will be an app eventually through the Fisker app that you will be able to use down the road.
Oh, but for now there's no app, so that's why, hence the key fob.
Yeah, exactly.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
On that note, are you guys ready to begin?
Sure.
Now the vehicle's on. To put it in drive, just make sure your foot's on the brake pedal, and that's your gear shifter right there.
Yep.
And then before you pull forward, one last thing that comes standard with the Extreme trim is the 3D surround camera. Now this is something you can get added onto the lower Ultra and Sport trims.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to go ahead and switch it over to the front camera. And what we'll do is first, it's not a long lap. I'll guide you as to where we'll go. There will be a little bit of freeway driving.
Yep.
But we're going to do one lap. We'll come back, and then we'll do a driver swap, and we'll do the same lap a second time. Awesome. And we'll, of course, take a right here. There's Karen again.
It's like this is the first time I kind of hate being a guinea pig because you're like, this is not my vehicle. I don't know what it's capable of doing.
And then we'll take a right here at the stop sign. Now, do you guys have any particular questions you wanted to know about on the Fisker Ocean?
I was going to ask before, is there any sort of like charging plan that is included, like with Electrify America or EVgo or anything?
They do have a some sort of partnership with ChargePoint.
Oh, okay.
Currently not with EVgo in the Electrify America.
Gotcha.
And what we're going to do, at this light, we're going to take a right.
Okay.
When you take this right, we're going to take an immediate right, and then we're going to take 287 north.
Okay.
And we'll just...
That's all you have to say.
Yep. You guys live in
We're
the
from
area,
around here, yeah.
Right.
And I
there's
took,
that
and
rollback
yeah.
right there. Yep. A few big things I wanted to talk a little bit about. So like I mentioned, there's 3 trims with the Fisker Ocean, but there's 2 separate batteries. Now, let's start with the base model Sport trim. That comes with a smaller 73 kilowatt lithium iron phosphate battery that, when fully charged, will give you a range up to 231 miles. However, if you're in the Ultra and Extreme trims, they come with a much bigger 113 kilowatt nickel manganese cobalt battery that, when fully charged, will give you a range of up to 350 miles on the Ultra trim and 360 miles on the Extreme
Do you want me
trim.
to take Smith Road?
Yep, we'll take Smith Road. So far, what are your guys' early impressions?
It's so the non-hold brake thing is weird for me.
Yeah.
But that's fine. I just switched it to fun mode, and I definitely noticed a much peppier pickup.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like right away.
Yeah, the big thing with the whole brake hold, like I mentioned, that is something that Fisker is actively working on with their 2.0 update. So once they are complete with the 2.0 update, then they will address that issue.
I mean, otherwise it's like pretty responsive.
How often do software updates usually come right now?
Well, since since I started back in February, that's the first one that they have done during my time with Fisker. We'll take a right here. Now, in terms of how often Fisker will roll out updates, at the table where you guys signed up at, I have my guys Johan, Rick, and I can't remember the other guy's name. I just met him today.
Okay.
They are the on-site Fisker reps, so they'll have a little bit more info on the frequency of the updates.
Gotcha.
Now they are supposed to have more updates throughout the course of 2024, in particular with the Extreme trim. Like, for example, the Extreme trim is going to have standard adaptive drive control, which is their terminology for adaptive cruise control. That's supposed to be added later this year. There's also a few other 5-pilot features that are going to be standard on the Extreme, like the lane change assist, as well as the Park My Car feature, which is an autonomous self-parking feature that's going to be coming later this year via an over-the-air update. But,
what's this?
that is the driver awareness camera. So that camera is actually looking at your eyes, making sure you're not doing any drowsy, like driving drowsy, any distracted driving, things like that.
Gotcha.
And then I'm going to have you get in the left lane. We're going to go straight at this light. Did you just notice that beep that just happened?
Yeah, for the green light, yeah.
Yeah, this has got the traffic light recognition. So when it detects the camera that the light changes green, now it'll give the visual alert right here, but you can have it set up where if you wanted an audio alert, like a quick subtle beep like that, it does have that.
Yes. I did not even hear it.
Oh, it's all good, no worries.
I think as you have it turned on, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So far, though, any questions at the moment?
No.
The other, go ahead.
I was gonna ask, how does it drive?
It drives nice. The like, this is like I'm having to tell myself like foot on the brake, foot on the brake.
Yep.
Which I guess is weird because I always do have my foot on the brake even when we have it on hold. Like I always kind of hover there.
Yeah.
But here now I'm like extra conscious about it.
See how? Yeah.
The regen is pretty aggressive.
Okay.
Like when you let go of it, like on the high.
That was totally regen?
No, that was me hitting the brake.
Okay.
No, but here's the there's a car behind me. I don't want to miss.
You're good. We'll probably have a better stretch to try that out here.
Yeah. Especially when on the earth mode, the regen feels more aggressive.
Yeah.
Fisker actually recommends to use high when you're in earth mode and then to use medium when you're in fun mode.
Oh, interesting. I get that makes sense.
Yeah, because obviously high, it's retaining more energy, and then in earth mode, you're trying to maximize your range. And then we're going to take a right here onto Smith Road.
Well, I've definitely gone this way around traffic before back when we used to live up in Passaic County.
Sort of familiar, yeah.
I've definitely done this route.
And then to make this easy, right up here, the Delta gas station.
Yep.
We'll take a right there, and that'll take us back to the office. So with you guys having the Rivian, you guys are familiar with like the charging infrastructure for level 3 with like the CCS. So when you're using the CCS on the Fisker Ocean, they can charge up to 180 kilowatts, which depending on what trim you are in, will charge the vehicle from 10 to 80% between 31 and 34 minutes.
It's not bad.
Now, with the level 2, the J1772, if you're in the sport trim, that will charge 0 to 100% in 12 hours, whereas if you're in the Ultra, in the Extreme trim, that will charge 0 to 100% in 18 hours. It will take 6 hours longer on those higher trims. You got to remember, though, the higher trims, they do have the much bigger battery, 113 kilowatt compared to 73. And you're also getting over 100 miles more range on the Ultra and the Extreme compared to the Sport. And one quick thing with the charging, the max that the Fisker Ocean will do will be a 32 amp.
32 amp, okay.
And then this also does have the battery saver, which they recommend charging the vehicle up to 80% for your daily trip, so you can have a preset limit. So let's say we did have this on a charger, wanted it set at 80, but once it reached whatever your preset limit was at, it would stop the charge at whatever you had it set at. But so far, do you guys like it?
It's nice. It's so like no, not in here, right?
No.
Next one.
Next one, yeah.
Like this kind of the trim options and stuff, is that the standard, or like does it come?
Well, this will be standard right here. In terms of the seats,
it's the seat that you would pick.
Yeah. So if you get the Extreme trim, that's gonna have the the Black Abyss Plus Fuel Tech interior, which the vehicle we have on display does have that interior. So that's going to be like the vegan leather option. Now, this particular one is one of the Alcantaras.
These are cool. These are they're so slim, and then
visors.
Yeah.
And then they get big.
yeah, and then oh, they're like
It's got the little
magnetic
mirror right there.
Nice. Oh boy. All right. On.
Foot on brake.
Got it. Oh yeah. Yep, I am. Okay.
Alright.
All right.
And then that same lap we just did, we'll do it a second time.
Okay.
He doesn't remember where we went.
No, I have no idea. It was a bunch of rights, but you have to tell me.
I'm gonna go right and get on 287 and then take the first exit.
Yep. Snip. But overall, I pretty much have covered most of the spill.
interesting,
I
like-
typically,
Oh no, sorry. I was just gonna say, like, so totally foot off, totally. So yeah, you definitely it creeps more.
Yeah.
Or maybe not creep, but like roll. Sorry, what were you saying?
I pretty much have covered most of my spill, but do you guys have any other questions?
Really? I love that I could hear the turn signal on the back seat through the surround sound.
You know what? It's
so weird.
so because there's actually been a few people that
Actually, do.
that didn't like that.
I kind of don't.
Okay.
Is this
What
too
do you
close?
do?
I was just gonna close it so we can actually like hear inside.
Oh yeah, let me go. So
Sorry.
it's gonna be the middle button right there.
Oh, I see. And push it. Gotcha.
Now everything will open individually. So like, let's say you
Sure.
wanted to open just the roof, or you just wanted to open for the window for the trunk. Everything will open individually except the small quarter windows for the trunk, which are the doggy windows.
Yep.
So in order to open the doggy windows, you would have to open California mode first, then close everything individually.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I don't like hearing that back here.
The turn signal?
Yeah.
We went north.
North.
Oh,
Yep.
right
Yep.
here,
Right.
yep. I'll turn the fan on just
Yeah.
a little
Toasty.
bit.
I think this is genius that we have a car company that's finally put panels on the roof.
Yeah. It's cool. I like the design is really neat too.
And it kind of gives you shading too, like on a super sunny day.
So how many miles again did
You're
you say it
staying in
was?
this lane.
Up to 15. So they estimate up to 1,500 miles a year through direct sunlight,
Mhm.
which typically averages to about 4 to 5 miles a day.
Okay. Yep. And now that's California sunlight though, right? Not New Jersey sunlight.
I mean, let's be honest. It'll probably be a little bit more effective.
Yeah.
In a place like California or Colorado that
Yeah.
a lot of people don't realize averages 300
Yeah.
sunny days a year.
Yep.
Have you always done car stuff or?
For about the last 10 years.
Okay.
This is my first time with Fisker.
Mhm. It
Usually,
was on Lucid.
yep.
Mhm.
Usually,
So
the
maybe these are
manufacturer I work with the most is Toyota,
Oh, interesting.
Oh, interesting.
Okay.
which I have driven their BZ4X before.
Okay. I was gonna ask, like, is there much of a focus on the electric stuff there? Because they've been sort of.
We'll get
No,
to
you're going
this.
straight.
Yep. They're slowly starting to a little bit, but this will definitely
Yeah.
this will blow the BZ4.
What do they what does Fisker start at price point wise?
So for the sport trim, the base model with the front wheel drive
Mhm.
will start at $38,999.
Oh.
The ultra trim, the mid level, will start at $52,999, and then the extreme trim will start at $61,499.
Okay.
Now the extreme trim, that is the top trim, but that is before options like, oh yeah, going back to the Alcantara, I was talking a little bit about that. So these are not the standard interiors that come with the extreme. It's that Fuel Tech we do have on display. That's a vegan leather.
Yeah.
The Alcantara is a suede-like material that's synthetic. There's two Alcantara options. This one is the Malibu, which is, you can see, is a little bit of a dark blue.
Mm-hmm.
The other Alcantara that we have is called Sea Salt, which is a white interior. So that's one of the options you can get on the
Hold tight.
extreme trim.
Nice. Okay.
The other thing is, now the Ocean comes standard with 20-inch wheels. All the vehicles we have today have the upgraded 22-inch wheels.
Yep.
So, and then of course, this particular one has the Big Sur blue color, which this is one of two colors that is available with a matte finish. The other one is the stealth green color. So this matte finish
You're going right here.
Right here. This matte finish for this color is $4,500. So things like that, like the sticker price on this particular one, as it sits, is $73,236, which that includes the destination and handling fee. But the Extreme as a whole will start at $61,499. But they are offering, they do currently have a $7,500 cash back offer going on throughout March, which my guys at the table, if you want to know a little bit more about that, Rick, Johan, and I can't remember the other guy's name, they'll have more info on that $7,500 cash back.
But that's not the like federal tax incentive. That's like a Fisker.
Not, yeah, it's a Fisker's own thing. Because this is built in Austria.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
At the,
so it's not eligible.
Yeah.
Yep.
So this is part of the reason that the quality is good, is that it's built in the same factory that like the Mercedes G wagons were built.
Yep, the Mercedes G Class, the Toyota GR Supra, the Jaguar F Pace, completely 100% carbon neutral plant as well.
Oh wow.
Oh wow.
I thought the 22s, like especially on Jersey streets like this, would feel bad, but they actually it's quite comfortable.
Good with the 22s.
Yeah, like there's plenty of potholes, and it's not like shaking my bones apart. Everyone's always told me you need small wheels for Jersey roads, but this is quite comfortable.
But overall, how do you like it, Tyler?
It's really nice. I'm the driving is quite good. It's definitely got power.
Oh yeah.
It does. You're right. Like it's a getting used to it thing. It's not good or bad, but like the braking part is definitely different. Right here.
Oh, we're gonna go straight.
Oh, right there.
Red light.
Basically, where that Fisker flag that is blowing like crazy over there.
Yep.
We'll take it right there. Yeah, this being the Extreme trim is gonna be put out the most power of the three. 564 horsepower along with 543 foot-pounds of torque. There's also there's a boost mode launch you can use when you're in hyper mode.
Oh yeah,
You'll be able to go 0 to 60 in 3.7 seconds. Fisker did cap that off, that you can only do that 500 times during the lifespan of the vehicle to help preserve the lifespan of the battery over the long haul.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why they have
interesting. Okay. Oh, so
500.
30 people driving. Yeah.
I don't know where those 30 came from, because we were told don't do it.
Okay, gotcha.
I realized the rear view mirror, the kids would enjoy that. Watching it, it'd be like them watching
it's
a
like
movie.
A movie, yeah.
I'm watching a movie.
And then I'm just gonna.
It kind of looks a little bit like Land Rover Evoque-ish.
Gotcha.
You know what? We have gotten that a lot. You would be amazed how many times
People
we've gotten the Land Rover part.
I love I think it's interesting. Like it's a huge battery kind of compared to other stuff in this size. So like having that. What did you say? Was it 100%? Is it like 3? What's
the Extreme trim will be have a 360-mile range at 100%.
Yeah.
The Ultra trim will have a 350-mile range at 100%.
Yeah.
But again, if you get the Sport trim, because that's the smaller 73 kilowatt, that range will be 231.
Gotcha. Okay. Yep. But I mean, yeah, that's very long range for something like this.
Yeah. And then keep in mind, those range numbers are factoring if you do have the standard 20-inch wheels. If you have the 22s, it is going to be slightly less. It won't be like substantially less, but it will be a little bit less with the 22s.
Gotcha. Yep. Gotcha. Yeah, let me see all this stuff too.
Now, this one, that's the 3D surround camera right here. What this one does right here, let me see if I go to the back camera. This will give you
like a wider
view.
That'll be good for parking.
Yeah.
Does it give just an overhead view?
Really, the only one that it does is kind of like the 3D surround view right here. So I guess you can kind of have a little bit of an overhead. you got to play with it a little bit. But like, obviously, this one's going to be the front. Now, this one, it might look like it's going to be an overhead, but that's going to be showing what's underneath the side mirror right there.
Gotcha. Is this one pointing at the car?
Yeah, that's going to be the right flank, and then that one's going to be the left flank right there.
Yeah. I'm like wondering physically how, like, oh, is it in the door handle? No. How does it get a view from like that far out?
You know what? I think I'd have to check on that because I don't think there's there's definitely not a camera on the side part. Or it could actually be coming from
the
The
mirror.
mirror, yeah. I think it's coming from the mirror.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's cool.
Actually, you know what? I want to see something real quick.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
How cool. So then, if you open the door, also does the? Oh, okay. It just blocks off.
That's cool right there. That it actually shows that the door is open right there. So.
Oh, neat.
Not too bad.
Did we miss anything? Let's see. I feel like we got to play with every. So we've got.
Real quick, if I go out of there are some apps you can download, like Spotify. Now, the other big thing too, like I use Tidal for my music streaming app. So if I'm connected through Bluetooth and I'm playing Tidal through my phone, when it's connected through Bluetooth, it is going to play through the sound system as well.
Gotcha. Okay. Yep.
And then this right here is, when you are connected through Bluetooth, it'll show like your contacts, things like that.
Yep.
That's the charge screen right there.
Does it do, like, how do you do voice command? Is there a button for voice command?
There is a button right up there.
How's it going?
I don't. Well, you're not.
That may be one of the things that are maybe coming through over-the-air updates later this year, I believe.
Yeah, I don't see anything like popping up. And then I don't want to like drive into the car in front of us. But this one was the mode. That's like cruise control.
Yeah, those. So that would be like to activate the cruise control and then the speed part. Now this would be like on your adaptive cruise control, because you know how it's like speed and distance.
Yeah.
And then you're approaching the vehicle in front of you.
Oh, so it's like the distance.
Yeah, but these two buttons right here, because that adaptive cruise control is not active at the moment. It currently is not available.
Gotcha. Okay. Gotcha. And then this big one is the one that does the screen?
Yeah, that's when you press and hold that down, does the Hollywood mode with the rotating screen.
Awesome, okay.
I like that it comes with the entertainment apps.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. The Rivian does not have that, which is
shocking.
It's fine for us, but a major deal when we've got the kids and we're sitting there charging because they got used to being able to watch Netflix in the Tesla.
Yep.
I don't know. I think you answered all my questions. That's just like the navigation stuff. Yeah. Is there a front trunk also?
There is not a front trunk. Underneath the hood, there is a front electric motor, the front electric motor, and the 12-volt battery.
Yep.
There's also not a lever that will open the hood. It actually is only designed to be open if you needed service or maintenance done.
Gotcha.
You actually have to use a pry tool to get the hood open.
Gotcha.
So it is the one thing I can't show you.
Yeah.
Gotcha. And how does maintenance work? Do they
where
their service
right
centers?
now that they'll do, depending on what the issue is they could either do a software update, or if it's a hardware issue, they can send an on-site technician to you. But that'll also be another thing that Johan and Rick, they'll know a little bit more about, like the potential dealerships and service centers that could be coming to like the New Jersey area.
Gotcha. Okay.
Cool. Awesome.
Do you have any other questions?
No.
Okay. You comfortable?
That's very comfortable back here.
It's roomy back there. Yeah. I'm surprised.
So much room. Like.
Smash the car. Awesome. Okay.
But guess what, dear? We're past anchors.
I know. Yeah, but that's still nice. Like, I hate having to fight with those all the time to get the other ones in. Nice.
It's a very comfortable seat too. Is there like a weight on, like an order and a weight deal for these, or
they have inventory? Johan would know a little bit more about like how quickly they can get you one. They do have some in stock. I'm not sure what the delivery time frame is, but they're definitely in inventory.
And now is this the Ocean's the only model?
At the moment, yeah.
All right, so let's debrief. I think, I mean, we'll talk about it, but I actually think this is going to be really interesting because I think I came in expecting to like poo-poo all over it and like find all these problems, and I actually liked it a lot. That's fine. I was like impressed. I mean, I'm not going to buy one, but I think you actually have a much worse opinion.
Well, I had zero expectations
Yeah.
coming in. I don't actually I shouldn't say that because I knew nothing about it.
Mhm.
But for whatever reason, I associated the name with like a very high. I thought it'd be more high end than
Okay.
it was on the inside.
Yeah.
Or period.
Yep.
I expected a little bit more. Like, again, just from the name, I knew zero. But for whatever reason in my head, I was like, oh, Fisker. That sounds like a luxury brand. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I like so I would separate though build quality, fit and finish, like luxurious features, and then like the software itself.
And then rush to the finish line.
It does feel very rushed, right?
I mean, like 90% of the stuff, he's like, oh, that's coming in the next software upgrade. That's coming in the next software upgrade, and I'm like, boy, please.
Yeah.
And like this lack of charger cable. What? You're selling me an electric vehicle.
I know why they're doing it because every other company is doing
I
it.
don't care.
But if you're a company that is going to be appealing to
First
a lot
time,
of new EV buyers,
yeah.
I agree with you. It should definitely include it.
It should be, are you a first-time EV owner? Yes, you get a cable.
Or what they should do, like what I think Hyundai is doing, is you have the option. Basically, they should give you either the wall charger for free, or sorry, like the plug charger for free, or
you can upgrade to the brick or whatever.
Or like do that and like give you I don't know, $200 credit for electrician or something, and you pay the rest. Or like if you don't need any of that stuff, gives you the whatever they're charging on ChargePoint is.
I'm gonna say the same thing. It's the same thing as if you gave me an iPhone and you need to give me a charging wire.
Mm-hmm.
I know you don't give the outlet thing, but you need to give me something. Otherwise, it's
but yeah, I mean, yeah, but the big criticism from every review has been that the software is like just not ready for prime time yet. They rushed it out, and
what was the big rush to like get it done? Just have your engineers finish doing.
They're out of money.
Okay, well that too.
I
think they're overpriced. I found it very interesting that the base model is, what did he say, $38,999?
Yeah.
And then the mid level is $52 and change, which is a huge gap. And then it's $52. You
can't buy the base model.
Yeah, and then it's $52 to $64.
Yeah.
Which is the next jump, which also seems that seems like a big jumps between models and not a huge differential between what you get from base to extreme.
Yeah. And then like the one we were in, the spec'd out one was like 75 basically.
I would not spend $75,000 for that vehicle.
Yeah. It's just like it's very Spartan. It's like it's a nicer Tesla basically.
I wouldn't even say it's a nicer Tesla. This feels luxurious inside. That did not.
Oh, okay.
I thought the cup holders were cheap. I thought this whole plastic thing was cheap.
Yeah.
The suede seats are bleh.
Yeah, I don't like the suede seats,
because like it's gonna have like dirt and everything all over it.
Yeah.
I like the little zipper things were cute. No frunk. There's no storage in that car.
Yeah.
What are you doing with the thing?
Yeah.
I just kind of like, I didn't want to like be like, oh, this car sucks.
Well, so the reason that this is getting a lot of attention right now is MKBHD is like one of the most popular YouTube channels. He just did a review saying that the Fisker is the worst car that he's ever reviewed.
I wouldn't say it's the worst. I wouldn't say.
Well, he specifically said that it's not the worst car ever. It's just the worst car that he's reviewed. But but like there's all of those things. The fact that there's no app right now, there's no phone as key are problems.
Yeah, there's a key fob.
Yeah.
Excuse my language. What per se do you do with a key fob nowadays? You lose it like us.
Yeah. So like just that stuff.
It's cheap.
The regen thing.
If it feels like a Nissan Leaf, and I've test driven a Nissan Leaf. You have to hold the key fob there for the car to start. What are you talking about? I get it and the car goes. It's electric.
Did you have to push a button this time?
You have to hold the thing on, and then he
Yeah.
said I did have to do something. I don't remember if
I
I
think
was
you just had to
pushing
put your foot on the brake. Yeah. I think that was it. But still, I agree that is
You
silly.
shouldn't have to do it.
Huh?
You shouldn't have to do that.
Yeah. I thought like the ride was decent. Like the build quality is good, and that's I think because of like the overall mechanical drive build quality was good.
Yeah.
I mean it's nowhere near Rivian, and honestly, like you know when I talk about like this car, I say the build quality is not great and like the ride quality is not great compared to the Rivian, but like they're very
different cars,
different cars and like a lot different money. But if you're talking $75,000 versus 90-ish for a Rivian, like it should be closer, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it is not.
It didn't feel like a $75,000 vehicle.
I mean, well, the biggest thing is like, is this company going to exist in 2 years?
And the other thing, it's like, okay, this again, base model maybe fine, like a $38,000 vehicle, which is also, by the way, a lot for a car. Yeah. Like let's just say it what it is. Cars are way too expensive nowadays. Yeah. But the badge, the badge is so cheap. Like it's a cool logo, and then you do this honky white with orange thing. Like it should be a little bit smaller. It felt almost 3D. It should be sleeker, and it felt like a button that our kids would wear, like the face of a watch that our kids would wear, and like walk around with it, and like like it felt cartoonish. Yeah, because it's a cool. Like it's a cool logo. Like it's like this is sleek. This is what it should look like on the car. But, and the marine blue interior. Look, why would you do blue as your base interior color?
It's California.
I get it, but it's not even like that's the. Yeah. That doesn't speak California. Whitewood.
I'm just over-indexing so much. I want a convertible again, and like.
I like that part. That was very nice.
And that part just, like they could just tell me the rest of the car could fall apart if it opened up like that. I would be into it. But yeah. That was definitely the best part. I'm actually like kind of surprised that they prioritize getting like Netflix and YouTube and Disney Plus in there, and Rivian hasn't been able to do that. Yeah, it's not at all hard, but but it's just interesting that they prioritize that over having phone as a key, or auto hold on hills.
I'm a little concerned about the quality of the engineer that they have. To be honest, if some of the stuff that they're working on, like the auto assistant stuff, is still like first of all, how long have you been coding? Yeah, they're like there's hockey dad. It just seems to me the things that like they can't compete.
Yeah.
They can't compete because the things that people expect in a vehicle to be standard because of the place that EVs are now. Yeah. They don't like. They're like, oh, it's coming, and then you're gonna get it, and you're gonna be like, how long?
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, you have no idea how long it's gonna be for that stuff to come. I mean, like they're not even on 2.0 yet on this. Like, I mean, that's all made up anyway. But like, the fact that basically everything is being promised in the next update is not a good sign. Like a lot of companies do that.
That's overcommitment.
Yeah. So yeah, absolutely. I mean, I liked it.
I have this going cheap. Yes.
Okay. I think my overall sentiment on it is nicer than I expected. Still. It's like when you go to see a bad movie and like you know that it's going to be bad. It's like it doesn't make it not a bad movie, but like you kind of enjoy it a little bit more. I enjoyed it more than I thought I would. That does not mean that I am at all compelled to like buy one.
They're throwing money at you too to buy it.
Yeah. The credit thing is interesting. I mean, I think it'd be great for them to succeed.
I hope they can succeed.
Yeah, like more competition in the EV market is a good thing, but there are some big things that they need to do to fill the gap.
No, I mean I had zero expectations, and I was just like, whoa.
So like it probably makes you a better objective reviewer. Like
because I read
knew
nothing.
Too much about it.
Yeah, I read nothing. I went into it.
Well, that's why I wanted you to come and why I didn't tell you anything about it beforehand.
Well, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I didn't have time to listen to anything.
Yeah. Well, so the solar thing though is also like totally like it's
such a gimmick.
It is very much a gimmick.
What do you mean only 1,500 miles?
Oh, that's absolute best case. That's if it's parked outside in pure sun 100% of the time.
So what? Like, how weak are those panels then? What's the point of them?
It's not the panels. It's just like when you're talking something that size,
True.
It's not going to be producing very much energy. So like it's an interesting conversation piece, basically.
It's an interesting differentiator, but again, get the basics right first.
Yeah. Well, and plus, like, how many people buying that, especially at that trim level? Like, it's the most expensive one, right?
Yeah.
Who's going to be leaving it outside and not in their garage all the time?
You'd be surprised. It's not like people.
I guess so. But my point is that I think most people would have it in their
Yeah.
car, especially if you're gonna be charging it, right?
True.
I say, nice event. People were the friendliest people, like absolutely great, like no sales pressure or anything. I kept like waiting for.
Will come. He's going to email you this.
Yeah, I think part of it is they're not legally allowed to.
Because they can't sell here. Yeah.
When I went to the store in New York, they have like a little pop-up store in
Mhm.
New York. It was the same thing. Like they couldn't even tell me pricing and stuff there, because I think New York's
Agreed.
dealer laws are even more aggressive. With that, yeah, let us know what you think about the Fisker Ocean. Does the product stand up enough to keep Fisker going, or are they going to disappear all of a sudden? I think probably of every EV manufacturer I have experienced, they've definitely got the most to be worried about. But I think there are some good signs there. Just it's a first generation product, and it's going to need iteration. And the real question is, do they have enough runway to actually make those iterations or not? But yeah, let me know what you think. With that, thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you out there on the road.
Ah.